Hey everyone, today I'll be comparing and contrasting Where Eagles Dare, the film versus the book, and will give my point of view on both. Where Eagles Dare was originally written by Alistair MacLean as a fictional account about 5 British spies conducting a rescue mission in a German fortress during the Second World War. This brief description sums up both the book and the movie's commonality. Despite much of the dialogue from the book being compiled and pasted to the script of the film, the events and characters are pretty different. For example, the book contains relatively bloodless violence, whereas the film shows multiple people, namely men in the German army, being shot and killed in large numbers during all of the action sequences. Another good example is Lieutenant Schaefer, the one and only American on the mission, is a sarcastic and laid back character in the book who has a distinct fear of horses, whereas in the film he is a gruff and soldierly character with a very serious demeanor. Despite these nuances, both the film, Despite these nuanced differences, both the film and the book for the story are very enjoyable masterpieces, in my opinion. They both tell a compelling story of a fictional account during the Second World War. Since many people might be unfamiliar with the story itself, it mostly revolves around salvaging sensitive information about the invasion of Europe. However, it turns out based on the extensive knowledge of Major John Smith, both in the film and book, that the so called General Carnaby is just an actor by the name of Cartwright Jones, and according to Major Smith, didn't know anything about the planning of the Second Front, quote unquote, than he did about the back of the moon. The audience hears this relatively early in the story, which causes it to morph into a different purpose entirely. In the film and book, survival and cunning both play a big factor from that point forward. Both the film and book tell a detailed account of Schaefer and Smith being captured and then eloping capture before it's too late in order to do what they think will be rescue the 3 other men in their group, only to find out later that they were what Colonel Kramer termed, quote, birds of a different feather, which, in other words, means that they were spying for the Germans disguised as British agents. The story then becomes one of justice, especially for Major Smith in particular. After a very complicated diatribe from Major Smith in deducting who everybody actually was, including even Lieutenant Schaefer, Smith finds out how the mission is to be accomplished. Both the film and book, in their own ways, tell the rest of the story with varying degrees of exaggerated violence, particularly in the film, where the entire crew is on their way to Oberhausen Airfield, with all of them being completely unharmed by the vast number of German soldiers in pursuit of them, which makes the film and book both bear some degree of ambiguity for going along with the idea that the so called good guys always win and the bad guys don't. Despite this, the end of both the film and the book are succinctly concluded with Colonel Wyatt Turner being caught as the main culprit and trying to undermine and destroy the British intelligence network in order to help the enemy. Him being one of the planners of this nearly impossible mission leads the audience to the possibility that he may have wanted Major Smith killed in order to continue to conceal his treason, which adds some very interesting mystery to the story. Where Eagles Dare, as both a film and book, is an excellent historical fiction story. I would probably recommend the movie more because there's a great deal more excitement and suspense, as well as character development, and the action sequences are more in depth generally. At the end of the day, though, Where Eagles Dare is a great story well worth both watching and reading. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you found this video to be informative and interesting. If you did, don't forget to support me on all of my platforms, and I'll see you guys later.